Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I have an anniversary album review. It is the 30th anniversary of Metallica's Black Album. But before I begin, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So Metallica's Black Album was released on August 12th, 1991 on Elektra Records. This was produced by Bob Rock, and Bob Rock came in. You know, he was a really big name in like hard rock and heavy metal and, you know, different bands, and he kind of like brought a different sound. And, you know, I will be talking about that throughout this review, how this album was not only a big change for Metallica, but a big change for basically like the music industry in general. Now, it is one of the best-selling albums of all time. It is definitely the best-selling heavy metal album of all time. That is considering if you don't consider AC/DC's Back in Black a metal album, but anyway, so this is the classic lineup of Metallica: James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, Jason Newsted, and Kirk Hammet. And I remember exactly when I bought this album. I was 20 years old. I was listening to a lot of metal at the time, and I remember exactly where I bought it. I think the name of the store was Sam Goody, and a small place in like this plaza on Long Island. So I just have this clear memory of buying the CD and just like popping it in my car and just listening to it. This album, in retrospect, you know, I listened to it again, and it's actually like slow. It's like a lot slower than the previous albums, you know, compared to Master of Puppets or And Justice for All. They slowed it down a lot. And I kind of thought about it a little bit, and I'm kind of thinking that it is almost like inspired by some of those like grunge bands that were out at the time. Now keep in mind that this is like right before a lot of like big albums came out. So this one came out in August, but you're going to see in the upcoming months that there are albums such as Soundgarden's Bad Motorfinger, Nirvana's Nevermind, Pearl Jam's 10. They're coming out like a few weeks after this one's released. But I'm thinking of albums like Soundgarden's Louder Than Love and Alice in Chains' Facelift. They were out already, and it's almost like they kind of like took a little bit of that sound and like applied it to their thrash metal. So yeah, so I mean, like these are like a lot slower, and like I said, this was right before the grunge like breakout, and it also did bring heavy metal to the mainstream. I do remember I used to like watch these videos on MTV, and they would play them like during the day. MTV used to only play like metal videos during Headbangers Ball, but when this came out, Enter Sandman and all the videos and the Unforgiven, and I think it was Wherever I May Roam, and I think they made like 5 videos. They were played during the daytime, you know. I think it was during that like you know, during the evening when they were like playing like the big hits and things like that. And that's it. Let me talk about the songs now. So the first song, Enter Sandman. This is a really big song, and I actually like it a lot. Like, it hasn't grown old for me. This is a song that I can just like put on at any time. I'm actually surprised it did actually very well as a single. It reached number 16 on the Billboard 100. It does have that like classic sound. I remember the first time I heard the single, and I was like wow, this is pretty cool. It doesn't sound like Injustice for All, because I did buy that album like a few years prior, but it's like, it's different, but I like it, and it's pretty cool. A really great video with like the flashing lights and, you know, the big truck at the end, and like when it knocks over the bed, it's like boom. Like, remember James Hetfield saying that line. And what I like about Enter Sandman is one of those songs that everybody knows it. So if you're like at a party with people who are not like heavy metal fans, like you can put this on and it won't freak people out. Like, people will just like understand it, and it'll like be normal. Like, you know, if you put on any other like older Metallica songs, like people might like freak out if they're not like metal fans. But so anyway, moving on. Next song, Sad But True. I like this song. I liked it when it came out. I think over time it's kind of like not one of my favorites. It's just very slow. It's very doomy. It has a really heavy riff. You know, like the dan 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 dan. I used to love playing this on the guitar, but I think over time it is a pretty good song, but I mean, it's not like one of my favorites. Next is Holier Than Now. This is like an underrated song, but it's like it doesn't really get the attention that the other songs do. It does have like a little faster beat, and it's like almost thrash metal, but it still has that, you know, like slower pace. It's a shorter song. I think this was supposed to be like the first single, but they changed their mind. It's under 4 minutes long, and it's a pretty cool song. Next is the Unforgiven, and this is another unique song because when we've been like listening to ballads prior to this album came out, they always had like the same structure. It was like the soft verse, then the heavy chorus. Like they would have like the acoustic guitars in the verse, and then like the distorted power chords in the chorus. And with this song, they kind of flipped it around. They had the heavy power chords in the verse, and then when the chorus came, it was like more like the softer. I think it was like the more like cleaner guitars. So the Unforgiven is another one I really like. I remember the video. I really like the music video for this one, and this is another one that stood the test of time. I really like the melody. It's a really fun song to play on the guitar. Next, Wherever I May Roam. This is the fourth single. Pretty cool music video. It was like a concert style music video, and this is another like slow song. Really cool like Middle Eastern riff in the intro, but the opening riff is just very like slow and grungy. Like this is like the kind of like an Alice in Chains, even though they weren't really that big at this time. It was like kind of like that, and I do like this song a lot. It's just one of those songs that, you know, I still like to this day. The next song, Don't Tread on Me. This one is okay. It has that intro song that's like America from West Side Story, and that kind of like ruins the song in my opinion. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool song, but it is kind of slow. It has like a thrashy riff, but it's just a very like a slow song, and this is a good song, but I mean like not one of my favorites. The next one is one of my favorites, Through the Never. This is like the only like thrash metal song on the album. It is one of my favorites, and I think like if this was like a longer and more complex song, this could have easily fit on like Injustice for All or maybe even Master of Puppets. It's just like straightforward thrash metal. I know they made a concert movie with this name, Through the Never, that kind of like brought more attention to this particular song. But this is one of my favorites. Like if I were to rank the songs, this would be like one of my like top 3 songs because I really love this song. Next is followed by Nothing Else Matters. We all know this, and this is the power ballad, and actually thought it did a lot better, but it only reached number 34 on the US Billboard 100, but I think it did a lot better on different charts in different countries. It was really popular back then. You know, every like metal band did at least one ballad, because the ballad, that was their key to getting on the radio, and that was their key to like having a hit single. Now, surprisingly, Enter Sandman was a bigger single than Nothing Else Mattered, but there were bands like Queensryche would release Silent Lucidity, and you had Extreme with More Than Words, and so many other bands who had like Poison, Every Rose Has a Thorn, and these would always like go right to the top of the Billboard charts and like get a lot of attention and just help them sell albums. And I think that was the reasoning behind Nothing Else Matters. But I think this song didn't really age well. I don't really like it that much, but you know, it's a decent song. So next is Of Wolf and Man. This is a very heavy song. It's not too fast, not too slow, but it does have some like thrash metal elements to it. Really pretty cool, like lyrical theme, talking about like, reminds me of the movie American Werewolf in London, or any type of like werewolf, wolfman, or that type of thing. And the next song, The God That Failed, this one I just actually learned the actual meaning of it. So back then, James Hetfield's mother died of cancer, and she actually refused medical treatment because of she had these like her religious beliefs. She was like a Christian Scientist or something like that, and this was written because of James Hetfield's deep frustration with that situation. But as a song, really cool deep bass intro, really like thick bass. I really like that one. Really cool, memorable riff. It's another like slow and doomy track. Like I said, going back to this, I can't, you know, it's surprising how like slow these songs are. The next one, My Friend of Misery. This is another one that has this really great bass intro, and actually this was intended to be like an instrumental. I think they were going to put this on Justice, but they never did. And this is a really great song. I mean, it really shows off Jason Newsted's bass because, you know, his bass was pretty much non-existent on Justice. But on here, you do hear a lot of his bass. And this is a really good song. It has a really great riff, a really great beat. I really like the playing on it, the solos. I like everything about the song. Actually, this is another one of my favorites, maybe one of my top like 3 or 4 songs, in my top 3 or 4. The last song, The Struggle Within, the album closer, really great song. I don't like the intro that much. It has kind of like the marching band, like the that kind of like is not necessary. I think it should have like just removed that little marching band intro and just went right into like that, like just fast, like thrash metal, like really cool, like machine gun riffs, like pretty cool. Really great way to close the album, and it's a lot faster paced. It's thrash metal. It's not like Kill 'Em All level thrash metal, but it is, you know, a very heavy and thrashy and lots of like thick riffs, and I really like this one. So yeah, that's it. This is a great album. You know, does it like stand this test of time? Yeah, it's a really good album. You know, I think it is in their top 5. I wouldn't consider this. I think, you know, Lightning is better. I would say Justice is better, and I like Master of Puppets better. But I think it does stand the test of time. But like I said, it is. I was kind of surprised because when I listen and I get ready to do these reviews and I like analyze the songs one by one and like every little thing, it's almost like a grunge album that happened like before grunge happened. And I don't know, go back and listen to it and let me know if you kind of think the same way. Do you have that same opinion of it? So let's talk about it. And so that's it. So tomorrow's Friday. There's some new releases that keep like changing my mind on what I want to review. I have a couple of ideas. There's another album by Blacktop Mojo, which I'm considering. So I'll have something new tomorrow. Check out I have a lot of other Metallica related videos. There's a playlist. I'll stick that over there somewhere, and I'll stick another Metallica related video. So I would appreciate it if you want to check out my other videos, and because I do have a lot of Metallica videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.